Sarah Jane Adventures, The Temptation of Sarah Jane Smith, the 5th story of Series 2, is written by Gareth Roberts and it's starring Elizabeth Sladen, Tommy Knight, Daniel Anthony, and Jilly Mohindra and Alexander Armstrong. So the story focuses on Sarah Jane Smith finding out more about her parents. So the story started off with a boy from 1951 running in the street in modern day. So Ronnie, Clyde, Luke and Sarah Jane gets after him and eventually puts him back in his time. This is exciting stuff. It was a time fissure that they went through, a weakness in time and space, a rent in the fabric of the web of time itself. Sarah Jane finds out she's in Foxgrove in 1951, so she quickly went back to that time and closed the portal. Obviously the teens wanted to have a look, but Sarah Jane wouldn't allow it. She mentioned that the Doctor knows what he was doing most of the time. The bit where Trickster appeared, I was like, oh my god, what's going on here? So the whole gang went home. Sarah Jane tells Luke that her parents died when she was a baby. They left her alone in the pram on the street and drove off. They drove straight into a broken tractor, which is a mystery. So yeah, Aunt Lavina brought her up, even though she was busy most of the time. Sarah Jane couldn't bring herself to step back in time to see them, but then she did after, when she got the old-fashioned looking dress on and jumps through it, and Luke came with her. So they went down to the village and there's a party going on, and Sarah Jane finally meets her parents, Barbara and Eddie Smith, and a baby Sarah Jane in the pram, which is nice, reunion. They're played by Rosanna Lavelle and Christopher Pizzi. I think they did an excellent job. I bet those two felt absolutely surreal playing the parents of one of the most popular Doctor Who companions. So Sarah Jane finds her parents' car because the temptation is too strong. She used her sonic lipstick to damage the car, and I don't think the Doctor will be too happy about this if he was there.
I've disabled the engine. Now they can't go anywhere.
Meanwhile, in present day, Clyde and Ronnie were looking for Sarah Jane and Luke, plus they found a puzzle box flashing the same device that Maria used, so she's the only one who remembered Sarah Jane when she got removed from the existence, back in whatever happened to Sarah Jane. So in the empty shop, Time Fisher appeared. Ronnie and Clyde has found the same kid, Oscar, who turns out to be Grask in disguise, which I was not expecting. The effects is well done. Because of what Sarah Jane has done, the world is spinning around with nasty wind and bins and cardboards flying away. Everything just went down. The whole city is destroyed, like there's barely anything left. Sarah Jane and Luke went back to 1951 after they saw their time to fix the time. Turns out Sarah Jane gave the trickster the Earth. So while Clyde and Ronnie are walking around in their alternative timeline, Sarah Jane and Luke figure out how to stop the trickster. Sarah Jane understandably didn't want to repair the car to send her parents to death. But suddenly she found a police box. I was like, oh my god, is the Doctor in this?
It's me! Doctor!
You won't find a doctor in here, my love. What do you want?
But it turns out it was just a normal police box with a policeman inside. I was like, ah. So Clyde and Ronnie found people at slavery, kept digging, and there was Geeta, who doesn't seem to know Ronnie, and tells them that the world is ending and Grask made them dig. This is a sad scene. So after Sarah Jane and Luke asked Barbara and Eddie if they've seen anything strange, they walked off and Barbara went with them. So Clyde and Ronnie talk to a Grask. We find out that he almost died in space, but he's saved by the trickster in return for eternal servitude. After he refused to Ronnie and Clyde, they reasoned with him by telling him that the trickster is using him as a slave, so he agrees to help. And Clyde promised he will give him the puzzle box in return. Not sure how Sarah Jane would feel about this. So Ronnie went through the portal to 1951. So Sarah Jane is scanning around. Ronnie bumped into Eddie and baby Sarah Jane looking for the old Sarah Jane. So she heads off and Eddie followed because he figured out that there's something not right. So after Eddie took Barbara away and we find out that everything they touch turns rotten, like fruit for example. Trickster appeared in front of Sarah Jane, Ronnie and Luke, who got stronger, so Sarah Jane repaired the car with her sonic lipstick.
Will step from this door and consume this world in chaos.
Then Barbara and Eddie appeared and found out who Sarah Jane is, their daughter from the future. It's a lovely moment, it does make you want to cry. We found out that they drove off to save Sarah Jane, not abandoning her.
I knew the dangers, but I just couldn't stop myself. I had to see you.
I'm so glad you did.
So am
So as a result, Trickster has grown weaker and disappeared. Timeline is restored, so Sarah Jane, Luke and Ronnie came back in their time. Clyde gave the Grask a puzzle box and disappeared. Back at Bannerman Road, Ronnie reunites with her parents, alive and well, and, well, she has to tidy up her room. Normal life, eh? After Clyde went home, Sarah Jane is happy that she knows why her parents left, and Luke is happy that Sarah Jane is his mum. So they end it with the shot letter saying, "Mr. Smith, I need you." So that's The Temptation of Sarah Jane Smith. It's a great episode. It doesn't feel like 25 minutes. It feels quicker than that. Maybe because I really enjoyed it. What did you guys think of both parts of The Temptation of Sarah Jane Smith? Let me know in the comments down below. And the final episode of Sarah Jane Adventures Series 2 coming up is Enemy of the Bane.